please put them in the chat. We will come back to those. We are also recording, and so we'll send that out with some other documents after this town hall this evening. So hopefully that will help, but we want to make sure to get to everybody's questions. So if you do have any, put them in the chat and we will circle back to them at the end. As always, we would like to start off with just a reminder in our mission and vision. It keeps us grounded in what we do. We want to make sure we're staying true to what we say we're going to be and what we're doing for kids. And we will provide an environment that allows every student to reach their fullest potential, keeps us centered in what we do, and helps us with our thinking and pushing of moving forward. We also want to start off with some successes that we have seen so far this year. One of our goals was to create multiple opportunities to increase cognitive engagement. And so far we are back in in-person learning and it has been going amazing. We love seeing all the kids every day. Having the halls filled with laughter and smiles is amazing. Those weeks when we were remote were really rough. School should not be empty. So we're glad to have everybody back. We've continued with our virtual showcases. We have live online classes happening for students. We have live wellness, art, and music classes happening. Social studies is fully integrated with the arts, as well as taking arts into other areas of our curriculum. Some other successes that we are having when we look at implement and creating consistent data protocols. We have already reviewed beginning of the year data. We're right in the middle of collecting our mid-year. We have some MTSS structures in place. We're providing ongoing professional development surrounding MTSS. We have some good tracking tools used to help us so we know where kids are at and what they need. We're continuing with lots of monthly meetings. We have a standards-focused online platform, IXO, which is helping students work on those foundational skills that are needed. And we're continually increasing the fidelity of all of our assessment protocols. Through our social emotional well-being daily initiatives that we have taken on this year, we are doing live morning meetings while remote and now in person. Every group comes together for a bit in the morning. We work on relationship building, our positive behavior interventions and supports. We're part of the CSI Climate Collaborative, which is really focusing on that social emotional well-being. And right now it's focusing on that with staff and providing professional development and mental well-being for all of our adults that are in the building. And we are also continuing with restorative practices and trauma-sensitive practices in our building. We're really excited that extended day programming is back. So woo, starting Monday, we'll have that free before and after school care. Right now we do have limited spots. There's still a few more available and we will be expanding as the year goes on, but to get started, we needed to start a little bit smaller than we have in the past. Right now it will be offered Monday through Thursday, but we are ready to go, have everything set, and the staff is really excited to have those kids in our building before and after school. Moving forward, we will be continuing our in-person learning 4 days a week, with Fridays still being remote. As soon as we are able, we do want to move to five days per week in person. We will give everybody plenty of notice prior to that occurring. It is our goal, so hang in there. We are working towards that. And as soon as we are able to make that happen, we will absolutely offer school on Fridays in person. All right, so now for the great, exciting stuff. Why you are all here this evening. Our team has done a lot of reflection and research and reaching out to other schools in Colorado and creating partnerships and really learning about what COVID has taught us, what we have seen, what needs to happen in the future, and kind of where we are at as a school community. And we have been brainstorming some ideas, and we're really excited about looking at something that is way more out of the box. We are actually looking at having an enhanced school year calendar for AAK starting this next year. So really looking at that, it is a very robust calendar that is going to offer the ability to really integrate the arts into all of our curriculum and expand on how we are able to reach and help students. We have seen that there is a COVID slide that it is happening across the United States. And so we wanted to make sure we came together and had a response that would work best for our community to help our students succeed and be college career ready in the future. So we're going to share the sample calendar with you. We will also be putting it in the chat so you can pull it up and look at it at home or look at it later, as well as send it out after the meeting. So what we are looking at, we have been doing some research, and we're calling it enhanced school calendar, because we like to look at it as just way more robust than a traditional school calendar. But if you go online, you'll find it called an extended year calendar, a year-round school calendar. But what it is, it's essentially 45 academic days approximately to a 15-day break. So the breaks shift a little. We have different breaks built in throughout the year, as well as incorporating the traditional breaks. Part of that is that the school year starts a little bit sooner. It goes a little bit later than a traditional calendar. But we have also looked into what that means for our families and our students. And that would be offering care and extracurricular activities that are associated with the arts in our building on those breaks. So essentially students would be getting opportunities for extracurricular activities as well as academics year long. And there's a lot of possibilities that go into this. Part of it is we have done a lot of research. And that is also attached, and it will be shared out in a file in the chat as well as in an email afterwards. I can tell you that the more research that you dive into, there are mixed results on some data will show that it does increase academic achievement. Others show that a traditional calendar, after the initial 6 to 8 weeks of catch-up time in the fall, a traditional calendar, students will still catch up and they end the year at the same academic level. Other studies have shown that there is enhanced academic achievement, so that part is mixed. The downside that we have been able to find is that care piece for families, and which really brought in some rich discussions for our admin team on what we could do to make sure that doesn't happen. We don't want that to be the downfall. So we have been working really hard with a lot of community partnerships. And I'm going to let Shannon kind of jump in on that part to talk to you more about what that could look like for you and your family.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I want to kind of reiterate before I get into the community partnerships that this calendar here is a draft. This idea of doing an enhanced school year is an idea that we've vetted with our board and we've vetted with our staff. And they all think it's a fantastic idea. However, the piece that we're working on now is talking to our parents. So we will give you guys lots of opportunity through this town hall and surveys and other means for us to get your feedback. If this isn't something our community wants or needs, then it's not a route for us. But we thought this was a great opportunity for us, and so we're putting it out to you guys for some feedback. So looking at this calendar, every thing that's in yellow and in gray would be a non-school day, would be an out of school day. And I've been working with various community partnerships, Boys and Girls Club, the City of Fort Collins, performing arts centers around town, some youth sports groups, some environmental stewardship groups, all of these organizations that our community is rich with that works with youth to come into our school and offer programming during that time. So the idea is that it's not, in the past we had champions and it had, kind of a loosely structured, it was care, but this is going, our vision for this is that it is enriching time for your kid too. And it's going to be an opportunity like camp that families can participate in, and all at low to no cost for our families is what our goal is. And so, for maybe in March, we might partner with the gardens on Spring Creek and work on, learning about planting and growing things and get the kids really involved in that, running short drama programs or art programs during that time. So this is an additional opportunity to continue to add arts integration as well as other things that, we don't have time during our school day to implement. So that's kind of the vision here. Throughout this entire model, we would continue also to offer the extended day programming as well for our families. So Nicole, you wanna?
No, you did great. Thank you so much. Again, this is just a sample calendar. And if any of you have been on these with me before, you know that I just get really excited about it and I just keep jumping in and I just move forward. So thank you, Shannon, for pointing that out. That again, this comes down to our school community and what is best for all of us. And your input is what we need and we want. We want open and honest communication with all of you so we can make the best decision for our entire school community. And it really does mean a lot that you are here. So we appreciate it and we look forward to hearing what you have to say. So again, this calendar is not set in stone. It's just kind of looking at when those breaks could possibly occur, mixed in with other things that are already embedded into the AAK calendar. Did you want to jump in, Shannon?
Yeah, I think, one additional thing that, we've considered ever since we started sharing the building with Colorado Early Colleges is that we have a significant portion of our population that has kids in, various charter schools in town and then also in Poudre School District. And so we are also, always trying to find like, how do we create our calendar to accommodate those breaks together? And I think this is, one way that we can do it, that families can be off together, but if they still need that care for a student, they can enroll in the full day programming. So I've got a couple questions in here. What are the things in place for, I'm assuming special needs? Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, looking where we may need additional support during those times. We've had a lot of interest from our staff who are hourly that already work with many of the students in our building. And they would continue to have that opportunity so that continuity would be there and that structure and that person could stay with students during these breaks as well. Because that was one thing that a lot of staff was excited about, was being able, if they are hourly employees, having the opportunity to continue working with our students during those breaks.
The next question, you said the staff is excited about this concept. Can you elaborate on the why, please? There's a couple questions in here, so we'll stop there. So we've had quite a few conversations with our staff, and what they experience with both themselves and with the kids is burnout. When you get those long periods of instruction in between breaks, is that everyone by the end of it is just like exhausted and done learning and checked out. And so they all loved this idea. They thought they could have more engaging and deliberate instruction delivered in bursts with breaks in between. So you get the same amount of instructional time throughout the year. It's just spread out differently. And it gives both students and staff time to like rejuvenate between those times. Do you want to add to that, Nicole?
all I'm going to add is, and that is one piece of research that we have included that we will be sending out, is the rate of burnout for teachers is much less doing an extended school year, and staff turnover rate has also decreased with schools and districts that have decided to move to this model.
Moving on, continuing on with that question, also as a parent of a child with autism, I'm concerned about the lack of routine during full day programming. How similar will the routine look during the full day programming? Will teachers and familiar staff still be in the building? Yes, absolutely. What we're looking at for this, and in a main community partnership that we're working on cementing right now, is staff that will be here both during the day for in school, normal in school days, and then for our extended day programming and our out of school day programming. So it'll be the same faces, the same people that you see. There'll be continuity in that, and it will be a cohesive and structured program with routines.
Mm-hmm. So structures would be way more similar. It wouldn't be the same academic content necessarily. And even with the delivery of school days and what is already built into many IEPs, since it is the same amount of contact days with a teacher, that wouldn't change. It would just be that opportunity for extra learning and expanding on concepts with the same staff that they're used to seeing in the building.
The next question is, when will you be sending out surveys? When will the final decision be made about a schedule like this? And do you know if PSD plans on following a schedule like this? So on the first one, the survey will be sent out tomorrow, along with an announcement kind of summarizing this evening's town hall for the parents that weren't able to make it. The final decision will probably occur in our February or our March board meeting. So those, the schedule is posted on the website and we always put it out there. I don't recall what the schedule is right now because we just changed it at our last board meeting. But it would be in February or March that we would make that final decision. And then no, PSD does not plan on following a schedule like this. They will continue their traditional school year, which their breaks will align, within our breaks if you have siblings or other considerations. Daughters in 5th grade, how would this calendar apply, if any? It wouldn't apply for our 5th grade graduating students. It would start next year. August 11th in this calendar would be slated as our beginning date, and then that is when we would begin the programming too. So we wouldn't provide any of the programming on site for this summer, but we can help families get care over the summer if they need with the Boys and Girls Club on the north site. So does anyone have any thoughts or questions? You can put them in the chat or. So what you can expect then, you're more than welcome to hang on and ask us any questions as we end this. But we will send all of this out tomorrow with the survey. Please give us your feedback. Feel free to send us some emails with your thoughts as well. And then we'll go from there, and we will certainly keep our school community updated with the direction that the school will be going in. What about kids in 5th? I've got one more question. What about kids in 5th grade next year? Would it extend through summer of 2022? So yes, this would affect students in 5th grade next year. They would have the end of June time. And then they would also be able to participate in the summer program if they wanted. For students, okay, going on. For students that are remote right now, is there any possibility of returning to school this year?
Yes. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
Yes, there is a possibility. If you are interested in returning to in-person learning, reach out, let us know. It depends on the grade. We do have a couple classrooms that are full. So, but email us, ask, we'll look into it and see what we can do if you are interested in that option. And it can be at any time.
I have another question. Has staff turnover played a large part in exploring an enhanced calendar? You mentioned teacher burnout. It certainly played a significant piece in our decision and our discussion, but so did kind of coming up with how can we serve our students better post COVID. And we've seen a lot of staff this year, not only in our school but across the nation, leaving education altogether because it has just become so overwhelming for them. And we've seen that in our own school, that it's just working in education isn't a viable option anymore, and we can't continue to lose high quality teachers because the stress of educating our kids is so hard. And so when we come up with a plan that our teachers back 100%, we didn't have one teacher at our school that didn't want to pursue this. And so that says something to us that they need those times for themselves to like kind of regroup and come back and be an excellent teacher for your child. Let's see. All right, and then this question is away from the calendar and goes to extended day that starts on Monday, and how pickup is going to work. I think with that we will send out a pretty thorough, since that's a small portion of our population, we will send out directions tomorrow to all of those families that are enrolled that details what pickup looks like and what drop off looks like. It is going to be a little different than normal, but it'll have you going to the back door. But we'll send out that all in written communication tomorrow. I'm assuming the activities during the breaks would have fees associated with the Champions use too. My goal in this, and this is kind of the area that I'm heading up, is that these will be 100% free to families. At the minimum, they will be 100% free for our families qualifying for free lunch, and then potentially on a sliding scale. That is not my goal though. My goal is to continue to expand the extended day programming through these times and to offer it for our parents. So that's the goal. And we'll have more information with some community partnerships that we're working on signing the deal with. If we go this route, that I'll know, if we get that, it'll be free for everyone. So that's what we're working towards right now. So we're really hoping, I've got another question, through no fault of AAK, but will activities ever return to in-person, dance recitals, choirs, etc., activities that the family can participate in? I feel that COVID has really caused a feeling of disconnect with parents and siblings at AAK. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, we agree. Fingers crossed. Again, the vaccines are rolling out. Our teachers are slated to get them the first part of March, and that gives us a little more flexibility then in opening things up and then seeing more vaccination rates in our community. So we hope that they might need to be modified, but these kind of activities will for sure be in the fall. Yes. I've got a question of back to why we're not having school on Fridays. So why not Friday? My boss keeps asking. His children are in Weld County and he is inquiring.
We are still working. We're kind of in that holding pattern right now, waiting for our teachers to receive the vaccination. We're working hard to minimize contact with adults in our building as well, because what took us out last time is that staffing. It's when we have 9 teachers out and 2 admin out that we aren't able to safely care for students. And right now, we're just working as hard as we can to minimize all those contacts, and Fridays are being used to have everybody work remotely outside the building to minimize that, as well as the entire school being deep cleaned. So our hope is as soon as those vaccinations start getting rolled out to teachers, that is when we would like to resume to the 5 days per week.
And I do want to say that Nicole has essentially just been interviewing since the start of school for people to come in when staff are out. And it's been a nonstop thing. So we're constantly working on the staffing issue. The problem is that we're not finding qualified staff to come in, or they don't stay, or we put them into another position because of extenuating circumstances. And so we are working. We constantly have posts to try to get people in the building, and having a stacked bench that we can have them go in the classroom if we're quarantining or anything like that. So that is a constant thing. I've got another question, and I love this question. Thank you. Would the finality of the schedule be dependent on the extracurricular being set in stone? I would hate to end up having 3 2-week periods when I had to find childcare because the partnership fell through. Yes, this idea is all in one. Like it's all or nothing. We're not going to do an enhanced school year and have all of these breaks that parents have to find childcare for. It's the two are tied together. And so there will be programming offered for families during our breaks.
And on the flip side, for the staff, retention is big and our staff is on it, but we truly wanted to create something that was extremely robust for all of our students, where they were engaging in so many more activities throughout the school year that we don't have time to do in our regular school day. And so it is definitely that package deal where we want to provide, we don't want this to ever be a hindrance on families or a financial barrier. We want it to be what we could do for students to help them just increase their academic achievement and have a variety of experiences throughout the year.
I posted this earlier. I'm gonna post it again. I encourage you all to, do your own research on how you feel about this enhanced school year. I think there's a lot, we're all used to the traditional school year, and there's a lot of initial like, oh, why would we do that when you first hear about the plan? And there are pros and cons to this school year, just like there's a pros and cons to the traditional school calendar. I posted a link. PBS did a really good video on the pros and cons. It's only about 7 minutes. And just begin to kind of look at what's out there for this option. We think it's a fantastic idea, but we don't exist in a vacuum. This isn't a school for our teachers and our administration. It's a school for our kids and our parents. And so, we want you to be just as jazzed about this idea as we are. Otherwise, it turns out it might not be, what is right for our community. And to reiterate again, the cost for care during extended breaks, if any, will be very nominal and will be nothing for free pay, families that qualify for free lunch. But it certainly won't be anywhere close to market rates for care for either summer or the breaks in between. So.
But our goal is, again, to make it 100% free. Like that's what we're working towards. If we had to do a sliding scale or something, we would definitely put that out there. But our goal is to work hard for you and for your students and to make this available to everybody.
And one of the cool things, in terms of the fiscal impact on the school, and I know this is maybe not be what's in your mind, but as the business manager, it's always what's on my mind. One of the cool things about right now is that there are a lot of grants for these kinds of programs because there's a need across our nation for these kinds of programs and providing this kind of service to our community. And so, that's where my time is right now is looking at all those grants and getting them for the school. So there'll be a very minimal fiscal impact to the school as well, which is great news too. All right, so that is all that we have. Feel free to stay on and ask any questions, but we'll end the meeting and the recording here, and then we look forward to your feedback. That should all be in your inboxes tomorrow. So thank you guys all for joining us.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to be here. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to the rich conversations that we will have and the questions that we can answer. And we will keep you informed as always. Thank you.